My name is Leslie Garrett, and today we're talking about imperative sentences. You might be asking yourself, what is an imperative sentence? Well, an imperative sentence does three things. One, it makes a demand, like run faster or stop. Two, they make a request. A request is a nicer way of making a demand. So it can include the words please, kindly, words that make it sound a little more polite, a little more professional. Please hand me the book. Please go to the store. The third thing that they do is they give directions. Turn left on Main Street, add milk, and then stir. How do we write an imperative sentence? Writing an imperative sentence is different than writing other sentence structures. The reason it's different is because of the subject. Imperative sentences usually start with a verb, like we saw here. Because imperative sentences are demands, requests, or directions, the sentence the subject of the sentence is implied to be you. You go to the store. You hand me the book. You turn left on Main Street. Imperative sentences can also be positive or negative. You walk to the store. Don't go in there. Don't do that. Let's see if we can put our lesson to practice. We have Caleb, who's going to assist us. What I want you to do is I want you to mark out the name in each sentence, read the sentence, and tell me if it still makes sense to you.
Run faster.
Does it make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay, next.
Eat your lunch.
Does eat your lunch make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Next, please.
Turn left at the light.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Next, please.
Preheat the oven.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Be safe at the park.
Okay, does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay, next.
Please pick up your pennies.
Okay, does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Next.
Please take the day off.
Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Next.
Please give me a cupcake.
Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Next.
Please turn off the game.
Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Next.
Please clean up the glitter.
Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. So, as we learned over here, the subject is implied. So if we remove the subject from all of these sentences, we still have a sentence that makes sense. So, let's see if we can put this to further use. We're going to do two activities. One, we're going to have one student give another student directions. Two, we're going to make fluffy slime by following a set of instructions and see what the outcome is. For this activity, Caleb's going to help me again. He's going to give me directions from our house to the park. I can only do what Caleb instructs me to do. So, for example, if I'm standing at the door and he forgets to tell me to open the door, I can't go anywhere. So it's really important that he gives me detailed step-by-step instructions so that I can make it to the park.
Alright, first you have to open the door. Next you have to go to the street.
Talk a little louder.
And walk all the way down to the gate. Next you have to turn right. Now you go straight. Then you turn left. Then you turn right. Then you turn left. Then you go right. Then you have to turn right. Next you have to turn left. Then you have to go right. Then you turn left.
And we did it. All right, since we successfully made it back from the park, now we're going to move to activity 2. We're going to make homemade fluffy slime. My children, Brianna and Caleb, will be helping with this. To make homemade fluffy slime, we need 2/3 of a cup of white glue, half a teaspoon of baking soda, a 1/4 cup of water, 2/3 cup, 2 to 3 cups of shaving cream. Very important, not gel. It must be shaving cream. 1.5 tablespoons of contact solution. The contact solution must contain boric acid and sodium borate, and we need food coloring. To begin, we're going to add our 2/3 cup of white glue to our bowls. Now that we've added our glue to the bowl, we're going to add our 1/4 cup of water and our half a teaspoon of baking soda. And now we're going to mix that together. You You can either use a spoon, you can use your hands. If you have sensitive skin and you plan to use your hands, then please wear a pair of gloves. Okay. Once they're mixed together, we are going to add in our 2 to 3 cups of shaving cream. Again, it's very important to note that it's shaving cream and not gel. The more shaving cream that you add into your mixture, the fluffier your slime will be. Now that we've added in our shaving cream, we can add in drops of food coloring. We have four different colors of food coloring. Please pick a color and add some drops. After you've added your food coloring, make sure that you mix up your mixture really well. Now that we have our food coloring mixed in, we are slowly going to add our contact solution. So we are going to start with a tablespoon, and I will be assisting with this. Start mixing that. After we have mixed in a tablespoon, we will add our half tablespoon. Adding it in portions makes it easier to stir because we can see that the consistency of our mixture has changed and it's starting to turn into our fluffy slime. If you add the whole tablespoon and a half, it gets too difficult to stir. So start with 1 tablespoon and then add the half. So, let's see what we've made. As you can see, this is a very messy project, so it's best to use this in areas where you don't mind a mess. Because we carefully followed directions, our slime turned out like it was supposed to. Alright, so just to recap, what is an imperative sentence? An imperative sentence gives us commands, it makes requests, and it's a set of instructions. With the activities that we've used today, we've shown how important it is to follow directions. If our students had taken the directions out of order, our slime might not have turned out. So, hopefully you can follow a set of imperative instructions and make your own fun.